Hello, this is Alex from Everyday Food Cooked Every Day. If you're craving for something delicious and satisfying to cook at home for your family and friends, this is the video for you, because I'm going to show you how to cook Mongolian beef stir fry, which is packed with a rich and savoury sauce and tender strips of beef. Okay, got 2 pieces of chuck steak, which is a tough cut of meat. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut it against the grain in strips, but mouth-sized strips, and then I'm going to marinate it for 4 hours, 5 hours, and after that they should be tender and I will use them to do the cooking. Okay, let me just show you how I'm going to cut them and we'll go from there. There's the meat. There's excess fat there. That's all the flavour. Most people would leave it on, I would imagine. In my case, I like to cut it out. Not all of it, obviously I want the flavour, but if there's too much fat, like right here, I'm going to cut that out. Alright, so I'll get back to you once I've done that. I've trimmed it, as you can see. Now we call this chuck steak. I'm not sure what they call it elsewhere. Could be flank steak, I'm not sure, I'm guessing. It is a tough cut of meat, but it doesn't matter. It will do the job really well once it's marinated. So now we got the meat, and there's the grain going this way. So I'm going to cut it across here. So in nice thin strips. And as you can see, there's the finished product, and I'm going to do the rest of this and then I'll get back to you. Here we go. There's your meat. It's all been sliced, that's, nice and thinly. And now what I'm going to do is create the marinade to tenderize it. And once that happens, it's going to go in the fridge for about 4 hours. I don't understand why I say about. It's going to be at least 4 hours, and we'll go from there. Okay, here we go. These are all my ingredients for the marinade. 2 tablespoons of cornstarch, 2 tablespoons of baking soda, half a teaspoon of salt, some water, and a little bit of olive oil is going to go in. And once that happens, we'll work it into the meat and let it sit in the fridge marinating. Here we go, all mixed together. Now I'm going to pour it into the meat, onto the meat. And mix it all together. And then I'll put some plastic wrap on top, put it in the fridge, and leave it there for 4 hours. Okay, the meat's been marinating now for a couple of hours at least. So I've just quickly took some time to make a little bit the sauce, which is basically 1.5 inches of grated ginger, 1 clove of garlic that's been minced, crushed and minced. I've also got 3 tablespoons of oyster sauce, 3 tablespoons of hoisin sauce, 2 tablespoons of soy sauce, and half a teaspoon of cornstarch. And I'm going to mix them all together, and that will eventually become the sauce for the meal. So in they go, and there you go. The meat's still marinating, the sauce has been made, the spring onions have been trimmed. Now I'm just going to cut the red and the yellow capsicum or bell peppers into the chunks the size that I want, and we'll go from there. So once I've cut it in half, I'll just trim the inside. I'm sure there's better ways of doing this, but I've always done it like this, so it works for me. At the end of the day, it's a home kitchen. It's not a restaurant, so there's no desire for me to rush it. And there's the finished pepper. It's all been trimmed as compared to what it was. So I'll get them done and we'll go from there. Okay, the capsicums have been cut. The white part of the spring onions has also been chopped up. The green part of the spring onions is going to be used as a garnish. And I've got the brown onion, which I'm going to quarter, and then I'll also mince my garlic, 3 cloves of garlic, and we'll go from there. The meat now has been marinating for quite a while. I think another hour, should be more than 4 hours, and that would be ready for the next step. And I'll see you when the meat's ready and these are all been prepared. And there we have it. The capsicums and the spring onions, the minced garlic. I don't have dried chili, so I'm just going to use chili seeds. That'll be fine. The garnish, the spring onions, and roughly cut up onions. So the meat's been marinating for 4 hours at least. So now I'm going to take it out of the fridge and start the cooking process. Okay, we're ready to go now. The meat's been marinating for at least 4 hours, like I said. I don't have a wok. This will do. This is more than sufficient. It's been heating up now. I can feel it. It's quite hot. I'll get the meat out of the refrigerator. And there it is there. It's been marinating, so it should be really tender. So the first thing we'll do now is start the cooking process. Okay, first thing I do is add a little bit of oil. Not a lot. And put the meat in there and let's start the cooking. I'm back again. It's been cooking for about a minute. So we'll just keep going until for at least another 2 minutes, and then I'll get back to you. Okay, the meat's been cooking for at least 3 minutes. So now I'll add the garlic and the rest of the ginger and mix that in. Oh, you should be here. I know I keep talking about this aroma. Oh dear, how lovely is it? I love it. Anyway, so we'll cook that for about 30 seconds. And then next we'll add our vegetables. And here we go. The rest of the vegetables go in. And the onions. Mix it all through until you can see that the vegetables are starting to cook. I didn't want to use the word caramelization. In the last video I used it way too many times. So I'll keep doing this until they're ready, but you've got to keep mixing it, you don't want them to burn. There we go. Still a little bit to go. I've still got it on high heat because I want that heat to do its work. There we go. We're here. So the next thing I do is I'll add some chilies. Now, normally I would add more than this, but I've got friends that can't tolerate a lot of heat, so I'm going to put in this much in. Anyway, we'll put it in. And the next thing I do is put the sauce in. And that smells amazing. Mix it all in, lower the heat. Okay, I'm going to switch it off. It's ready. I'll give you a close-up shot in a sec. And all I've got to do now is cook the basmati rice and serve it with basmati rice. And of course garnish it with the green leaves of the spring onions. There you go. It's finished, ready to go. And all I need to do is cook some basmati rice with it and serve it with that. And it makes a perfect meal, and it's definitely a favourite. If you like my videos, please consider subscribing. And thank you for watching. Until the next time, this is Alex. Goodbye.